Right, so thank you for those tallies. Now, for more domestic coverage of the COVID-19 situation, I have Choi Min-jung here in the studio with me. Min-jung, welcome back.
Thank you for having me, Sunny.
Right, so Korea's COVID-19 tallies are prompting quite a bit of hope, Min-jung, about the future course of the pandemic here in the country.
That's right, Sunny. Many signs are pointing to a fall in the number of severe cases as well as deaths in the coming days. Senior health official Son Young-rae said in a radio interview on Monday that the tallies will start to drop after reaching a peak sometime this week or next week. Health authorities have been saying that the number of severe cases and deaths will continue to rise for the time being 2 to 3 weeks after the Omicron peak. They had forecast a peak of 1,800 patients in critical condition, but Son said it is unlikely to reach that high at this point. He also expressed optimism that fatalities will also go on a downward trend soon. And regarding daily cases, we did see a big drop in the number of new infections, like Sua mentioned earlier, partly because of the weekend and when fewer people get tested. But we are also seeing a drop in the country's 7-day daily average, which fell into the 200,000s for the first time in 3 weeks.
Right, Min-jung, and against that backdrop, we have revised restrictions taking effect as of this Monday. Remind us about them.
Right, relaxed social distancing measures will be in place starting today for 2 weeks. Up to 10 people will be allowed to gather for social events, regardless of vaccination status. And businesses can open until midnight, and these include restaurants, cafes, singing rooms, public baths, as well as clubs and bars. Movies and shows at theaters and concert halls may begin any time before midnight, but performances must end before 2 a.m. Meanwhile, restrictions for large events and rallies remain the same, capped at 299 people, regardless of vaccination status. Events with over 300 spectators can be held, but only through special approval by the government. And rules remain the same for places of worship as well, with a 70% capacity limit for in-person congregations. On the medical front, the country's healthcare system is now treating COVID-19 like any other common disease. Starting Monday, local clinics and hospitals can submit their applications to provide in-person treatment for COVID patients. Patients can book an appointment and visit clinics and hospitals for treatment, even if they're under self-isolation. And as of Friday, there are over 570 medical centers nationwide that provide in-person COVID treatment. Starting next week, those wishing to get tested for COVID-19 can only get rapid antigen tests from clinics and hospitals, as screening centers will no longer provide them. However, PCR tests will continue to be available at screening centers, but only for seniors and those who came into close contact with an infected person.
Min-jung, authorities have spoken about the possibility of rolling back all remaining restrictions, with the exception of indoor face mask mandates, if tallies hold steady. What has been the response to that?
Well, there has been a mixture of hopes and concerns, as some pundits say the move is premature and risky, while others say the time has come when people should be allowed to venture around outside without a mask. Other countries that have passed the Omicron peak, like the US and the UK, have already lifted outdoor mask mandates. And some health experts here are calling on the government to make a similar move, given the relatively low rate of outdoor transmissions compared to indoor settings. But many are strongly advising people to wear a mask in crowded areas, especially for older people or those in the high-risk category. And they also recommend that indoor mask mandates should remain in place for now. And I believe our panel of experts will be commenting on this later on in the show, so we'll be listening to what they have to say.
Right, in the second half of the show, Min-jung.